Hello everyone, welcome all of you in Team Diwani ISN Gate. Already you have given a taste of machine design and we have seen a question number 1 to 15 solution. Today we are going to discuss the solutions of 16 onward of machine design test. So this is the question number 16. A specimen under fatigue loading is subjected to a variable stresses ranging from minus 100 megapascal to 150 megapascal. Calculate the amplitude ratio and the options are given. So you have to calculate the amplitude ratio. Sigma mean is given as minus 100 megapascal. Sigma max is 150 megapascal. That is a plus. Okay. So mean stress, that is nothing but sigma m. Sigma max plus sigma mean divided by 2. Here it is a mistake of sigma max minus sigma mean. So correct that, sigma max plus sigma mean divided by 2. So you will get 150 minus 100 by 2, that is 25 megapascal. And stress amplitude, how to calculate stress amplitude? Sigma max minus sigma mean divided by 2. So 150 minus of 100 divided by 2, you will get 125. And amplitude ratio, that is nothing but your stress amplitude divided by mean stress. So 125 by 25, that is 5, and option number B is the right for that. Now question number 17. Question number 17 is from key. Last question is from the fatigue. Yes. If is required to design a square key for fixing a gear on a shaft of 30 diameter, the shaft is transmitting 15 kilowatt power at 700 rpm to the gear. Assume sigma y 460 megapascal, shear stress tau y 230 megapascal. The factor of safety is 3. The length is of the key is square key side 5 is given. So the given data, sigma y 460 megapascal, tau y 230 megapascal, and factor of safety is given 3. Power also given 15 kilowatt. N is rotational speed is 700 rpm. So crushing failure sigma c is calculated by sigma y by FOS, and shear stress is nothing but tau y by FOS. From that you will get sigma c value as 153.33 and tau as 230 by 3, that is nothing but 76.67 megapascal. From power you can easily calculate torque by 2 pi nt by 60 relationship. You will get torque 204627.78 Newton mm. Okay, after calculating torque you need to apply the formula for shear stress for key, and that is nothing but 2t divided by d into b into l. Yes, that is a key formula, and just put the values. 2 into torque, you have already calculated torque, just put that value. Diameter is 30, given here 30 diameter. B value is given 5 Okay, so here, okay, 50 here put as a 50, that is not a correct, it is a mistake. So you have to put here 5 into length is unknown, and shear stress for key already calculated 230 by 3 76.67. So you will get the answer near about 35.58 and that is nothing but option number A, 36. Next question, question number 18. In a ball bearing, if load is double, then life is. And the four options are frame, and this question is from bearing. For bearing, we know the relationship PL raised to 1/3 is equal to constant, or P means force. So FL raised to 1/3 is equal to constant, and from that relationship we can derive L is equal to C by F raised to power third. Here F2 load is double, so F2 is equal to 2 times F1. Just put the relationship L2 by L1 is nothing but F1 by F2 and raised to power 3. So from F1 by F2 we know here F1 by F2 relation is what, 1 by 2, and if you raised to power 3, that is nothing but you will get answer L2 by L1 is nothing but 1 by 8. So L2, that is nothing but 1 by 8 times L1. So we can say the option number 3 1 by 8 times the initial life. Okay, so option number 3 is the correct. Now match the following. You have to match the list 1 with the list 2. Woodruff key is given in a list 1, Kennedy key, feather key, flat key. Okay, so for Woodruff key, the option is here in solution. What they have given, a sunk key in the form of an almost semicircular disc of uniform thickness and self-aligning. So self-aligning is option or keyword for Woodruff key. So third option is matches, and one another we have to match because B and D option having third. So Kennedy key, look at here, the second option Kennedy key, that is nothing but it is fitted with both hub and shaft and used for heavy duty applications. Yes, right. The Kennedy key is related to heavy duty applications, and the option is second. So definitely we will go for the correct option is nothing but option number D. Okay, one we have to matches because B option is also again 2. So feather key again given, a parallel key which is a fix either to the shaft or to the hub and which permits relative axial moment between them, and flat key that is nothing but here flat key, sunk key, rectangular cross section. It is used for machine tool applications where additional stability of the connection is desirable, while keys with a square cross section are generally used for industrial machineries. Yes, so flat key is generally used for industrial machineries. So we can say loose fitting and light duty operations with the help of flat key is possible. So D option matches with 1. So definitely option number 4th is the right. So answer is option D. Now next, if torque capacity of a block brake is 240 Newton meter and radius of a drum is 210 mm with the coefficient of friction is 0.4, the normal reaction on the brake drum or brake shoe is. So they ask the normal reaction on the brake drum, and this question is from the brake. So for the brake, you need to calculate the normal reaction. So torque is directly proportional to mu nr, or we have the torque capacity formula. T is equal to mu into n into r, where mu is the coefficient of friction, n is the your normal reaction, and r is the radius of the drum. The radius of the drum is given as 210 mm. So convert it into meter, 0.210 meter, and you will get the required solution. N is equal to 2857.4 Newton. That is option B is the right option. Where is the question? Now 21 question. Again 21 question is from bearings. Read the question. The dynamic load carrying capacity of a ball bearing is increased to 3 times without any change in the equivalent load. Then life of the bearing will increase too. So you know the relationship for L is equal to PL raised to 1/3 is equal to constant. PL raised to 1/3 is equal to constant. From that we can derive the relationship L is equal to C by P raised to power third. So C, what is C? Dynamic load carrying capacity. What is P? Equivalent load. When C changes to 3C, then your C changes to 3C. So then we can definitely say here dynamic load carrying capacity is directly proportional to L power 1/3, or we can say life of the bearing is directly proportional to C power cube. So C power cube means you can put here L is equal to where C changes to 3C, so 3C power cube. So you will get 27C cube, that is nothing but 27 times. So option number C is correct for that. So 21 question, C is the answer. Now 22, question number 22, for solid circular shaft is subjected to a pure torsion, the ratio of maximum shear stress to maximum normal stress at any point will be. 4 options are framed. So pure torsion, that the concept you have to learn. What is pure torsion? M is equal to 0. Yes, bending moment is equal to 0, and from that we know the relationship T is equal to m square plus t square under root, and if you put the m is equal to 0, what we will get? T is equal to T, that is nothing but pi d cube divided by 16 into tau max. That is the simple relationship. Again we know the relationship me is equal to half times m plus under root m square plus t square, and from that relation if you put pure torsion concept m is equal to 0, you will get here T by 2, and that is nothing but pi d cube by 32 sigma max. And what they ask tau max by sigma max. If you put the value of tau max as 16 T divided by pi d cube divided by 32 me by pi d cube, pi d cube will get cancelled. What is remaining here? The ratio of 16 T divided by 32 me. 16 by 32, 1 by 2, that is nothing but T divided by 2 times me. Again you can put T as a T and me as T by 2. So you will get the ratio as T by 2 into 2 by T. Okay, that is nothing but 1 as to 1, and the correct option is A option here. Okay, so a little bit solving problem here. Now 23. Find the equivalent load of the bearing assuming rotation of the inner ring 5 kN and 2 kN are radial and axial load respectively. The journal rotates at 1500 rpm. Take x is equal to 0.575 0.56, y is equal to 1.6, and E is equal to 0.34. Here radial load is given as 5000 Newton, axial load is 2000 Newton. Find just the ratio FA by FR. You will get the ratio as 0.4, and that ratio is greater than eccentricity value. Eccentricity value is 0.34. So we can definitely say here FA by FR is greater than E. So how to calculate for this condition? Equivalent load can be calculated by using formula P is equal to x into FR plus y into FA. What is x? X is nothing but your 0.56, y is nothing but 1.6. Just put the value of FR and FA, you will get P is equal to 6000 Newton, and that is nothing but option D is right for that. So question number 24 again. Next question 24. Here a particular section of a steel shaft is subjected to a maximum bending stress of 160 megapascal and maximum shear stress equal to 60 megapascal. The yield point in the tension of the material is 400 megapascal. If maximum principal stress theory is used, the factor of safety will be. So look at here, how to calculate sigma 1, that is nothing but sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus or minus under root sigma x minus sigma y by 2 bracket square plus tau x y square. That is the formula for calculating your stresses. Yes, if you put the sigma x value as 160 megapascal, sigma y is not given, then you will get the relationship as a sigma 1 is equal to sigma b by 2 plus sigma b by 2 bracket square plus tau x y bracket square. That is nothing but 160 by 2 plus or minus under root 160 by 2 bracket square plus 60 square. So you will get the relationship as 80 plus under root 80 square plus 60 square. So that is nothing but you will get sigma 1 as 180 megapascal. And what we have to use here, maximum principal stress theory. Sigma 1 is lesser than or equal to sigma y by n, and here sigma y value is given. What is that value of sigma y? 400 megapascal. So just put the value of sigma y 400. Already sigma 1 you have calculated, that is maximum value of yield point 180, and from that relation you will easily get factor of safety is lesser than 2.22. so option B is right for that. Now next question number 25. A footstep bearing supports a shaft of 150 mm diameter which is counterbored at the end with hole diameter of 50 mm. If bearing pressure is limited to 0.8 Newton per mm square and the speed is 100 rpm, find the load to be supported. 4 options are given here. Now footstep bearing, the question is from the bearing, and we know the for bearing uniform pressure is uniformly distributed. So for that we can say pressure is nothing but load per unit supporting area or contact area, and here load P is equal to load per unit contacting area is nothing but pi r square minus r square, and both the radiuses are given here, diameters are given, so you have to convert that into radius. So intensity of pressure is given 0.8 Newton per mm square, so just put the value of diameters or radius in mm, 75 square minus 25 square, you will directly get the answer as 12566.37, and that is nothing but option D. Very easy question. Now question number 26. A machine component is subjected to two-dimensional stresses. The tensile stress in x direction varies from 30 to 50 megapascal, while tensile stress in the y direction varies from 20 to 40 megapascal. The mean stress in megapascal is, 4 options are there. You have to calculate the mean stress. Yes, what is the formula for mean stress? If you have studied very well, then it is very easy to calculate this. Question number 26. For mean stress, sigma xm plus square plus sigma ym square minus sigma xm into sigma ym. So basically in the x direction you have to consider the stresses, also in y direction you have to consider the stresses. For in x direction the stress is varies from 30 to 50 megapascal. So if you calculate sigma xm, that is nothing but mean stress in x direction, that is nothing but 30 plus 50 by 2, you will get 40 megapascal. Similarly if you calculate for the y direction, that is stress is varies from 20 to 40, so 20 plus 40 by 2, that is 30 megapascal. Just put to the values of xm and ym, sigma xm and sigma ym in above formula, you will get mean stress, that is nothing but 10 under root 13, and option number A is the right option for that. Now question number 27. Just check that question number 27 it is from fatigue. A bar is subjected to a tensile loading that varies from 40 kilonewton in compression to 80 kilonewton in tension. Okay, so 40 kilonewton in compression. So carefully you have to take that P minimum value as minus 40 kilonewton. Okay, because it is in compression, and 80 kilonewton in tension. The material of a bar has yield strength of 400 megapascal and the endurance strength of 200 megapascal. Calculate the cross sectional area of the bar for a factor of safety 2.5. So you have to calculate what will be the cross sectional area. P max 80,000, P min minus 40,000 Newton, because it is in compression, that's why it is minus 40,000 Newton. Sigma y is given, sigma is also given. Endurance stress 200 megapascal and yield stress 400 megapascal. So you have to calculate P min, that is nothing but P max plus P min divided by 2, you will get 20,000 Newton. Then P variable, that is sigma a, we can or P max minus P min divided by 2, so we will get 60,000 Newton. Okay, then using Soderbergh's equation line, because sigma yt is given, that's why we are using Soderbergh's equation. If ultimate strength is given, then we can use Goldman's equation. Okay, so here we can use this relationship and we can easily put the values here, and you will get the cross sectional area is 875 mm square. Just check that getting the cross sectional area is 875 mm square. That is here it is not in the option. You can check that if it is getting 875 mm square whether or 625 mm square, and please do comment in the comment box. Okay, I think it is getting area A is equal to 875 mm square. Next, question number 28. A spring having the properties G is equal to 79.34 gigapascal. C spring index is given spring index is given 6. Shear stress is given gigapascal, 0.69 gigapascal for a punching machine. The compression spring has to support 4 kilonewton load, and the diameter of wire is 13 mm. Number of turn in a coil if the deflection under the load is 50 mm. So very easy question. That was just the formula based question. All the given data is given. Spring index is given. So what is the spring index? It is the ratio of mean coil diameter to the wire diameter. From that you can easily calculate D. That is nothing but mean coil diameter, C into D. So you will get 13 into 6, 78 mm. And for a deflection, this formula already we have studied. So what is the formula for a deflection? 8W d cube n by GD raised to 4, where W is nothing but load. So just put the value. And what is the deflection? Deflection is given, I think deflection is given as 50 mm. You can put all the values in a mm, you will get easily. Okay, deflection 50 is equal to 8 into 4000 into 78 diameter of 78 mm. We have already calculated that. Just put there 78 mm, 78 raised to 3 into n is unknown, number of coils divided by GD raised to 4. G what? Here it is G value given in gigapascal, 79.34 into 10 raised to 3, because just convert into Newton per mm square. We have taken all the values in mm, and into D raised to 4, small d is nothing but 13 mm. So 13 raised to 4, you will get the value as 7.46. And option, if you are getting 7.46, that is nothing but the number of turns, that is nothing but 8. So C option is right, because we are getting the more value than 7. So we will pick the correct option is 8. Okay. Now question number 29. A ball bearing operating at a load F has 8000 hours of life. The life of the bearing in the hours when the load is doubled to 2F. It is a very easy question. Again, question is based on bearings. So we know the life of the bearing is inversely proportional to load of the load cube. So from that, L2 by L1 is equal to P1 by P2 raised to 3. So P1 by P2 is nothing but, from that we will get P1 by P2 is 1 by 2, because here it is given when the load is double 2F. So P2 will becomes 2F. So FF will get cancelled. You will get 1 by 2 cube. So that is nothing but 1 by 8. And what we have, the value of our initial life is 8000 hours. And what we have calculated L2. So L2 is nothing but, you will get the answer as 1000 hours, and option D is right for that. Now question number 30 is the last question. Just formula based question. It is the value of a tearing resistance, shearing resistance, crushing resistance of a single riveted lap joint of 15 mm plates with 25 mm diameter rivet having a pitch of 48. Assume Permissible tensile stress in the plate as 100 megapascal, permissible shearing stress in a rivet is 90 megapascal, and permissible crushing stress in a rivet 170 megapascal. So you have to calculate the tearing values. Okay, so these all the given data is given. T is equal to 15 mm, D 25 mm, sigma T is given 100 megapascal, shear stress is 90 megapascal, then crushing failure crushing stress is given 170 megapascal. You have to just calculate the tearing resistance of the plate. For tearing resistance of the plate, put the formula here. Just put the value in the formula based question, P minus D into T into sigma T, tearing resistance. So that's why we are using sigma T value here. So 48 is the value for here. 48 pitch value given, 48 minus D, 25 into thickness is 15, and you will get the answer as 34,500 Newton. So only A option is there. Okay, also C option matches for there. So you can calculate shearing resistance of the rivet. For shearing resistance of the rivet, shear stress you have to use. So shear stress is nothing but force per unit area. From that, PS is equal to N by 4 into D square into shear stress, and you will get that value as 44,178.64. Okay, look at here, 44 pi by 4 into D square into shear stress. Directly just put the value, you will get this value in Newton. So I think option number A is closely matches. Okay, A is the correct option for that. No need to calculate crushing resistance. If you want to calculate, you can just check the value as crushing resistance of the rivet. Just use the crushing stress. Okay, for crushing stress, the two parameters are there, diameter and thickness only. So just calculate that diameter into thickness, you will get 63,750 Newton, and from all the values, the option A is closely matches. So we can write A, option A is the right for that. So thank you for watching our channel. Keep watching us, and again we'll meet soon in the next upcoming videos of the test. So thank you very much.